Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It's time for the portal reading. It's the 6-6 portal. In fact, it's the 666 portal. And we'll take a look at this. So let's take a look at this from the perspective of numerology. We'll take a look at the chart for today, and then we'll do a card reading. So let us get started here. Okay, we're here at the 6-6 portal reading on 6/6/2022. And if we look at the vibration that is activated at this time, we take the 6 of the month, the 6 of the day, and the 6 of the universal year, right? 2022 is the 6th universal year. Of course, we have to remember that the 6 is a vibration of the Lover's card, so it's about choice. So we have choice, and then we have the 18-9 vibration. And this is associated with the Moon card in the tarot, the Moon card. And the Moon card is associated with our dreams, our illusions in some cases, sometimes our delusions. The Moon card is generally a card of emotional ups and downs, so we can find ourselves sort of doing this kind of thing with our feelings. It is associated with the subconscious mind, the dual nature of man. Both in the card, we see a domesticated dog and a wolf. So we have our domesticated energy or a domesticated side and our more feral side. The thing is if you just sort of do the domestic thing and deny your feral qualities, those things can come up, right, when we least expect them. So rise up from the subconscious. If you're just, this sort of feral energy, you need to have that sort of more domesticated nature in order to live with other people. I mean, most of us cannot be feral in a society, modern or otherwise. If we look at the 666 in, people get nervous about this vibration. It's called the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast. And really, it's not an evil thing like we see in some of these movies, these Hollywood movies. But the mark of the beast simply means it is the mark that we are human. We are human. We are both bestial and sacred. And it is the place of humanity to bridge the gap between the divine and the manifested or more our earthly nature. And so because we are both. And so denying one in honor of the other is in a way a sin, right? Missing the mark, a sin. We need to both, embrace our divine nature as well as our more bestial nature. And it is that balance that makes us human. So we have 6 as a number of responsibility plus 6 as a number of community equals that 18-9 vibration. Now, according to Jean from Spiritual Light Vibrations by Jean, she describes the 18-9 in this way: climbing to the holy mountain for humanity. This energy has come to walk the path of service for humanity. There is there are intense emotions and a vivid imagination. And so when the Moon card is in sort of influence here, we can feel those intense emotions. We can have a vivid imagination. This card is also associated with sleep. In fact, the Hebrew letter, which I did not add in this particular presentation, is, I probably say it wrong, Qoph, Qoph, Qoph. I don't know how to say it. Any of you who know Hebrew out there, please feel free to correct my pronunciation, is actually a symbol for the back of the head, associated with the back of the head. Back of the head is our visual cortex. So we can see, it's, you know, seeing in dreams, right? Or it is associated, Pisces, this is associated with the sign of Pisces, and this can be associated with sleep. So you may find that your dreams at this time are very prophetic because of the vibrations that we're in. So if we look at the moon card on the tree of life, we can see that the moon card is right down here, okay? It is the 29th path. Back of the head is the Hebrew letter Quaf, back of the head. Says the moon on the tree of life is located on the path here that connects Nexac, the forces of nature, imagination, Sephiroth of our feelings, also called the Sephiroth of the personality, with Malkuth, the manifested world. So we have Venus here. Netzach is associated with the planet Venus. What is Venus doing right now? Venus is in Taurus. Venus is in Taurus. And we have this path here, which is associated with the moon. This is Pisces. This is a Pisces energy. What's in Pisces? Well, Neptune's in Pisces. And then we have the Earth right here, Malkuth. Malkuth. So when this gets activated, either through vibration or planetary positioning, and right now we have Neptune on here. In fact, we've had Neptune on this path since 2011. This is a time when the forces of nature come to the planet. And so this can be a very stormy time, both atmospherically and because we're dealing with our feelings in Netzach, okay, and our instincts. This is our instincts. This is also what we desire. This is our desires. This is our this is Venus. This is, what do you want? What do you love? What do you want to surround yourself with, right? Venus. In Taurus, the garden, maybe, food, maybe, safety, shelter, beauty. The path of this, where the moon card sits, is the path called the corporal intelligence. It is the intelligence of the body. It is innate intelligence within the body, associated with the sign of Pisces. Neptune is in Pisces and turns retrograde on June 28th. June 28th. Interestingly enough, for those of you who follow my, more political leanings, this is the month where the January 6th Commission is going to do its presentation to America. It is the month of Donald Trump's birthday, and on the 28th, when it's a 40/4 vibration, this is the path of life of Donald Trump. So he's kind of all over this June vibration, mark of the beast, perhaps. Okay, so here we have the June 6th. I did this with the Aries rising to take a look, and we're just going to look at the basic planets, and then we're going to add a couple of asteroids in the next slide. So what I like to do is I like to look at the energy of the day that the portal happens. What are some of the themes? Sometimes there's an exact aspect happening on that day, a big aspect, sometimes not. So let's just look at themes here. Just going to look at general themes, and these general themes are the themes that have been sitting with us for a while. Number one, we have Mercury over here. Where is it? Mercury is now direct. It just turned direct on the 3rd. So let's see, 3 days ago it turned direct at 26 degrees, at 27 degrees of Taurus. It is still at that degree. In the beginning, when planets turn direction, whether retrograde or direct, there's the movement in the beginning is imperceptible, and then it sort of catches up with itself. So it's been sitting at this 27th degree at least for 3 days now, right? This 27th degree is conjunct a Kaput Algol, which is the it's considered one of the most malefic stars in the heavens, if not the. It means lose your head. And so it's very easy at this time for us to lose our head. The other thing that's happening with this Mercury is that it is trining Pluto. It is in a creative, self-expressive Leo side trine to Pluto, and it's actually going to be exact in a couple of days. And this is actually the third time that Mercury has made a trine to Pluto, because we had a Mercury retrograde. So there was the initial trine, I believe, was in April. Then we had one in May, and now we have the last one in June. I could be wrong about those two dates, the previous dates, right? But the next one is coming in a couple of days. The other thing that's happening with this chart is we have Saturn, which has just stationed retrograde. That stationed retrograde 2 days ago on the 4th, at the 26th degree of Aquarius. It is now retrograde, but it's imperceptibly moving backwards. Whenever a planet changes direction, there's a lot of power. And this Saturn power is especially potent because, first of all, Saturn deals with restrictions and sort of the things that hold us in, like the tethers that hold us. So it's almost like we're being held, and then it snaps, right? And then there's a movement, but it's a movement retrograde. So it's about re-establishing, revisiting the degrees that Saturn is going to be retrograding through. And I believe it retrogrades to the 14th or the 15th degree, and then it goes back, then it starts to move forward. I think that's going to be in October, I believe. But at this time, Saturn is square the nodes. So we have a lot of stress on those nodes of fate, and we just came out of eclipse season. So everything is just like all these lights, and it's almost like burr, 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 right? That's the energy right now. The resolution node for this conundrum of Saturn square the nodes. When Saturn squares the nodes, we're being asked to mature. How do we get there? How do we mature? Well, we need to go back to the past, the South Node in Scorpio, before we can move forward into the future. And what is that South Node in Scorpio asking us to do? Look at the shadow. Look at the more difficult things. Look at the past and how we resolved issues. What is this need to be in control of everything? And we can see that in Russia when it comes to the Ukraine. We can see that in America as it comes to the rest of the world. This sort of need, this feeling to be in control, to hold on too tight, and in that holding on too tight, creating a lot of chaos and a lot of pain and suffering. And so we need to look at that, understand the shadow. And as we understand the shadow and release the need for those things, learn to have faith, the North Node in Taurus, learn to feel as though there is enough for everybody. And if we work together and we work in harmony with each other and with the planet, there will be enough. But there is this whole idea of, I own this, I do this, I do that. The earth is here for all of us, folks. The earth is here for all of us. So we can't say that somebody owns like 50 billion of the earth's resources and the rest of the people, get scraps. That is abnormal. That is not in alignment with natural law. And what's happening is we're being asked to align with natural law because we need to come to peace with our earthly nature. We spend so much time in the divine nature. Everything was about escaping the earth, when in point of fact, it's about embodying spirit on the earth. It's about bringing heaven to earth, which is what we're attempting to do. So we do also have Venus and Uranus here. Venus is getting closer to her conjunction with Uranus. That's going to happen this week, I think Saturday of this week. She's also, and we also have Jupiter here now in Aries. We have Mars in Aries, and we have Chiron in Aries. So over the next month or so, Jupiter is actually going to go to about 9 degrees of Aries, and then it's going to station retrograde, go back into Pisces. So but it's in Aries now, and Jupiter in Aries is about expansion of the new, the I am, the new identity, the new idea, the new inspiration. Mars, however, is going to be moving towards Chiron. Mars conjunct Chiron. And so that's going to start once it does conjunct Chiron, which is going to happen this this June. It starts a new cycle of action around our wounds. And are we going to come from a wounded place, or are we going to come from a healed place? Because Chiron has the potential for both. As Mars moves closer to Chiron, it's actually ending a cycle. And I believe that cycle began in August of 2020, August of 2020. And I believe it happens at 10 degrees of Aries. So right where Mars is now, actually. So this 2-year piece between 2020 and now 2022, that expression of Chiron in Aries is coming to a close, and it's going to reopen when we have that conjunction. Let's see what else is going on here. We have Neptune and Pisces, as I said. Neptune is going to be stationing retrograde the same day we have the new moon in Cancer this month, and that's going to happen on the 28th, I believe. So I just want to add a few more points here. These are the asteroids, and I'm adding them because they fit in pretty well here. We have Pallas Athena here at 16 degrees, just off a conjunction to Uranus. A Pallas Athena conjunct Uranus. Pallas Athena is the goddess of wisdom. She's the goddess of good governance. She's the goddess of crafts. She sprung from Zeus's head. She was the daughter, right? The daughter energy. She believes in fairness. She believes in working hard, right? She's very political in that respect. She is the goddess of Athens, right? Athens was named after the goddess of wisdom. And so she's always associated with government. And as we stand here waiting like 6/6, in a couple of days, we're going to have this January 6th commission in our country, in the United States. And this is going to expose perhaps revolution within the government, all the connections that perhaps the January 6th commission uncovered for us to know about, for us to hear about, hopefully. We also have Eris here in Aries. Of course, Eris takes a really long time to go around the sun, about 550 something years, I think. Twice the orbit of Pluto, twice the time it takes for Pluto to go around. So it's been in Aries. It has been in Aries since 1925, I believe. And but it has been so it's there. It's when I was born, I think my Eris is at 11 degrees of Aries, and I'm going to be 61 on my birthday. So it moves very, very slowly. But the other planets, remember, Pluto made a conjunction to Saturn at about 24 degrees of Capricorn. Uranus squared Eris from Uranus in, Uranus was Uranus conjuncted Eris. I'm sorry, not square. Uranus conjuncted Eris when it was in Aries, so just recently. So there's been a lot of this Eris energy getting activated by the other very slow moving planets. And this brings up, Eris is a goddess of revolution. She's also the pissed off feminine. She was the first wife of, no, that's Lilith, I'm sorry. But she is Eris was a different pissed off lady. Eris didn't get invited to the wedding. So she rolled in the golden apple. It fell at the feet of the three goddesses, Athena, Aphrodite, and Hera. And they wanted Paris to decide who was the fairest. And he gave the apple to Aphrodite because Aphrodite promised him Helen of Troy. Unfortunately, Helen of Troy was married, and it started the Trojan War. So Eris has a way of utilizing people's sense of entitlement to bring them down. So there's quite a few entitled people out there who will have a comeuppance. And we have to remember that Mars is not only going to be making a conjunction to Chiron, it's then going to go to Eris. So there's a lot of fireworks coming, not to mention that Uranus is very close to the North Node. So more fireworks to come, more fireworks to come. So that's the energy that we're sort of sitting in at this time. So what I want to do now is let's do a card reading for this portal. And I'm going to use the Crow Tarot. Excuse me a second. See if I can shut that off. I think that worked. We're going to use the Crow Tarot for this reading because this morning when I was doing my morning in the garden, a crow flew over my head. And then I had a few sessions this morning with clients, and I went out to talk to Michael, let him know I was doing this video, and crow flew over my head. So I'm thinking that maybe the crows have a little something to say. Now, of course, crows symbolically are dealing with magic, the hidden, the miraculous. All things are created out of chaos. All things grow in the dark. So there's this energy of growing, but there's also crows warn. Crows warn. So there was only one crow this morning and one crow this afternoon, and that can be a symbol or a sign for me anyway to keep your eyes open, that there are things that you need to be aware of so you can stay safe. So I'm going to give you that as well. The crows want you to keep your eyes open, be aware, and take care. There are a lot of very desperate people out there. Some of them are mentally ill, but a lot of them are seeing their power being not necessarily taken away, but looking in their direction, and they will do anything to hold on to power. So be aware that it is not particularly safe out there. That's what I want to say with the crows coming to me today twice. I think that's what they wanted me to tell you and tell myself. So I am going to stay at home, I think, although that doesn't always guarantee that nothing's going to happen. Because there was a big eclipse a couple of years ago, and I was like, that's it, Michael, we're staying home. We're not going to get in any trouble. And then the neighbor decided to lose his mind on us. So you just never know. Just know that you have to be aware. Okay, we have the King of Wands here. We have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is somebody who has dominion. This is somebody who rules with great courage. This is somebody who rules with who's very inspired, right? He rules based on what he believes to be the truth. This is saying that you need to have courage at this time, courage of your convictions, courage. The power of the King of Wands comes from his ability to love, right? Fire, spirit, love, passion. There's a deep passion here. Let's see what's crossing that. We have the Seven of Pentacles. There's a challenge around resources. People don't feel like they have enough. Now, of course, we have a challenge around resources right now in this country. We have inflation going up. The price of gas is very high. When that happens, it slows down the economy because people can't afford to buy things or go places. It's more expensive to do things. So we do have this sense of wanting to like be out there and doing our thing, but we feel like we don't have the resources to do it. It does require a certain amount of budgeting. So I would say you can do what it is that you want to do. Just you might have to like if it's something really important to you, you might have to um, put money that on something that's not quite as important to you to that. So prioritizing perhaps your finances will help with the stress that this is creating. At the root here, we have the Five of Pentacles. Again, there's this feeling of disruption. There's a real disruption here with the money. This is one way that those who have the power now could is or trying to put the squeeze on us. So be aware of that. Be aware that a lot of this, a lot of, especially with the oil, is manipulated. So be aware. Don't, you're going to have to do things differently for a while, okay? But don't believe that there's not enough. Don't believe that there's not enough. We do have to reorganize our priorities, however. See what's in the past. Temperance. We have a healing. So there has been a healing, a balancing. The Temperance card is a trial by fire. So it's not, we have been through a trial by fire, folks. We have been through a trial by fire. On the tree of life, the Temperance is on the path of the mystic. It's the path that connects the Sephiroth of the moon with the Sephiroth of the sun, coming together of the lower and the higher self, within the higher self, within the heart chakra. So there has been healing, but it has been a long and arduous climb. The Temperance card is the angel of healing, but it also means that you have been through it. And we have all, and it's part of our initiation process. It's part of the process of us becoming more authentic, imbuing our spirit into our body and our body into our spirit. Let's see what's in the sky. We have the 10 of Cups in the sky. So there is hope. There is the dream. There is the rainbow. There is this sense of that everything's going to be all right. It's out there. You just have to reach for it. We have the Queen of Cups as the immediate environment. The Queen of Cups is somebody who attends to the emotional needs of others. And so this is T and empathy. I don't like to say sympathy because you find sympathy in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. So it's more empathetic. There's an empathy here. There's a need to come together. There's a need to nurture our emotional needs. That's what's being asked of the Queen of Cups. We're being asked to be the Queen of Cups. It also has to do with utilizing our psychic ability. The Queen of Cups looks into a cup. In the Rider-Waite deck, the cup is covered, but she knows what's in the cup because she uses her inner vision. She uses her inner vision, and of course, the Moon card is associated with an ability to be psychic. How it's seen from the outside. Now, the outside of what? Like the outside of the planet? We're evolving. We're moving up the ladder. We have a view of what it could be. And we need to keep that view in mind. We need to keep that view in our minds and in our hearts. Our domestic situation, the Tower. The Tower. The Tower is literally an apocalypse. What does apocalypse mean? Apocalypse means an uncovering. So the truth is coming out, folks. The Tower moment is here. The truth is coming out. Hopes and fears. The Eight of Cups. The biggest fear with the Eight of Cups is one of abandonment. And of course, the deepest abandonment is a sense of being abandoned by God. But we are not abandoned. We are not abandoned. When all you see ahead of you is loss and pain and sorrow, we need to look around to see what is not that. Where do we have the blessings in our lives? You know, if gas is $6 a gallon and, you know, you can't go on that road trip that you've been planning for years And now you're like, oh yeah, COVID's over, let's get on the road. And then you're like, oh my God, gas is so expensive. How am I going to afford to get there? Look around and see what is working. Look around and give thanks and gratitude. The North Node in Taurus requires us to be grateful for what we have, even if it's not everything we want. Scorpio is more about our desires, and Taurus is about what we have. And so to a certain extent, we're going to have to let go of some of the desires that we have that maybe don't serve us, ultimately. The outcome, we have the Three of Pentacles. Now, this is a very good card to get at the end of a reading whose base was the Five of Pentacles, because this is instability. I feel like with the Three of Pentacles that the people who are most involved in the money stuff is actually going to create some more stability with that. So I see maybe financial markets stabilizing, something around the finances stabilizing, maybe some laws. We have the Six of Cups. I'm going to pick 3 more cards, see if I can pick a major arcana. We got the Six of Cups, which is a nostalgia going back to the past. We have the Ten of Wands here, the burdens that we hold, and the Fool. So what is being said to me in this is that the past is the past, and while very often we see the past through rose-colored glasses, it is gone. And it's not about making anything great again or bringing back anything. Of course, we see that happening here. All the progress, they want to go back on the progress because, you know, they think they're in charge or whatever. And then we have the burdens, right? The Ten of the Ten of Wands, the burdens that we carry. And this Fool card says, let go of all of it and move into the new. Do not be afraid. Take the leap of faith. Take the leap of faith. We may not know where we're gonna land, but we're gonna land, and we're gonna have another opportunity to start anew, And underneath it all, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. Honestly, and this just could be the first thing that came to my mind, I'm going to say it, is that those people who have been in charge are going to be hung up. The King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles has come out in many of my readings. They keep coming up, especially the Queen of Pentacles, and I didn't always understand who she was. But she is somebody with quite a bit of ching, and the King of Pentacles very often comes up as Trump, the businessman, even though he doesn't really have any money. But he certainly knows how to direct money to himself. So, but with the Hanged Man, with those cards, it's a reversal. So I feel like this 666 portal is going to create some big reversals for folks who were on top of the heap, who will probably end up on the bottom of the pile. So hopefully that's helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe. If you would like to have a reading with me, you can go to my website, theseedsoftransformation.com, and I do astrology and Kabbalah readings, and I teach. Right now I have a beginner's Kabbalah class going. I have a intermediate astrology class, and I have every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. I have a astrology salon where I get together with my students and we talk about what's going on in the heavens and how it's expressed in our lives and in the lives of the collective. So if you're interested in something like that, you can go on my website. There's an option for that. The one class is $25 a class. You can buy a series of them. and you get a little discount on that. So if that's what you need. All right, guys, have a wonderful month, and I will see you on the 7/7 portal. Take care, everyone. Namaste.